How do you sort out the so-called jargon from real-world practices that work? Do the members of your organization find some business or technology advice utterly confusing? Welcome to Real Talk with Sam Holcman. In this program, we set the record straight, and in terms that business people and technology people can understand. Now, here is your host, Sam Holcman.
Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm Sam Holcman. Thanks for joining me today. And this broadcast was actually inspired by my son's post on his channel. If some of you have not tuned into his channel, it involves an interesting topic that he calls the $2 bill. And his name is Brad Holzman. I'll leave it at that. You can check out his approaches to moving you forward also. And that inspiration led to the following. It was a post that he put that was entitled, "The Real Cost of Standing Still." And it was a quote that he found. The real cost of standing still. And so today's theme with this particular broadcast begins with a simple but powerful phrase. If you are worried about the cost of going for it, just calculate the cost of staying where you are. Interesting question, isn't it? We've all been there, staring at an opportunity that feels just out of reach. Maybe it's the next career move, a new certification, launching that business idea, or stepping up into leadership. The first thought that most of us have to come to mind is, can I afford this? But here's the truth most people never calculate. Staying where you are has a cost too. It is just hidden. So what is the hidden cost of inaction? Every day you wait to act, you are paying in something. Missed opportunity, lost learning time, diminished confidence. In organizations, the same principle applies. When your enterprise delays modernization, modernizing architectures, updating processes, training its teams, the meter keeps running quietly in the background. The longer you delay, the more expensive catching up becomes. And perhaps, most critically, the more growth and momentum you surrender to someone else, a competitor, a colleague, or a trend that passes you by. Let's talk about shifting the equation. Here is a mindset shift that separates professionals who move forward from those who stall. They stop seeing cost as an expense and start seeing it as an investment in transformation. When you invest in new skills, true applied education, like mastering EACOE Enterprise Architecture or BACOE Business Architecture, or pursuing a new certification, you are effectively buying time, clarity, and professional leverage. You are purchasing future options. So, the question is not, what does it cost to go for it? The real question is, what will it cost me if I do not? That is a radically different calculation, one that turns hesitation into perspective. So, a bit of a thought experiment. Imagine it is now 1 year from now. You made no major moves, no new workshops, training or certification in enterprise architecture or business architecture, no strategic growth steps. What has changed? Maybe nothing. And that is the problem. Now imagine instead that you went for it. You stretched your time, made your investment, developed a skill set, and positioned yourself as a true practitioner, well beyond just passing a multiple choice exam. Maybe even a leader in your field now. How different would that year look? When you compare those two futures side by side, the decision becomes awfully clear. Standing still is never free. Now let's bring it home. The truth is, progress demands an investment in payment, either in courage or in comfort or in dollars. You can pay up front for growth or pay later for regret. So, if you've been on the fence about a move, advancing your career, deepening your professional expertise, or developing your organization's next capability, take a moment to run the real calculations, because often the boldest step is also the most economically sound one. Until next time, keep designing your best move. And remember, the cost of going for it is always almost less than the cost of standing still. For real enterprise architecture done by practitioners, not paper, please see www.eacoe.org. For real business architecture that leads to outcomes, not technobabble, please see www.bacoe.org. It'd be our pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. Be sure to join your host, Sam Holcman, again for another edition of our program. We'll have more real topics of discussion then.